souls, welcome back to my channel, Helki Rain. Today I wanted to talk to you about Glamour Magick, but using numerology. I wanted to talk about this topic because I've not seen anybody else talk about it, and it is spell work that I've been using for many years now. I combine the energy of the numbers from numerology with my makeup, which equals Glamour Magick. If you've not heard about Glamour Magick, I recommend that you go watch some videos on that, check it out. A video I would highly suggest was a video I watched by Maddox, and I will leave a link to that video in the description. It's really informative, and there's a lot you can do with Glamour Magick, and one of the forms of Glamour Magick is makeup. Every number has its own energy. You can use the numbers within your magic to cast spells and set intentions for what you would like to achieve. Also, it doesn't just have to be a day. You could be doing a photo shoot that day, and those photos will be still holding that intention, that spell, and that energy for you as you continue to use those photos. A good example would be that you're going for a new job interview for a job that you really want. So what number might be good to use for that interview? I would suggest using number 4, because 4 is the number of hard workers. They are the grafters, they are the builders. They're really reliable and solid and have a good foundation. If you think of the 4 corners of a house, solid structures often have 4 corners. So if you're going for the job interview, you'll be setting that intention that you are that hard worker that will entice people in with that 4 energy to hire you. Or if you are doing an independent project, or you are self-employed and you really want to boost the intention and energy around your project or your work, I would highly recommend using the master number 22, because 22 is the master builder, and in fact 22 is the most powerful number for manifestation and for building new things. As I said, it's the master builder. 22 is a 4, but it's the elevated version of 4. It's a master number. Using that 22 energy when you're, say, launching a new product or something involved with being self-employed, that's really going to put the energy of success behind it, because this is the number that is most capable of success. So I'm going to briefly go over the energies of the numbers so that you can find what resonates with whatever you are trying to bring into your life, or whatever intention you are trying to set while using Glamour Magick with numerology. So as I'm going through the numbers, I will be showing you examples of how you can do your makeup using numerology. And casting your spell and setting your intention is really important while you do it. You really want to be honing in that energy while you're doing this and calling that in. So being very focused on that number. One more thing is that you can also use this to influence how you appear to others. So for example, most of the time I work with the number 6. It's my lucky number, but also it's that number of harmony, of nurturing. And those are qualities that I definitely want to show and appear to others with.
Editing me here, I forgot to mention that I use number 6 to also help with my anxiety disorder. So that nurturing, harmonious energy, I feel really helps with that.
I use 6 a lot because it's my lucky number, and you can find your lucky number by looking up your numerology chart. But just keep in mind that you can also use this type of Glamour Magick to set intentions and cast spells on how you would prefer people to perceive you. So let's get on with the makeup. What will you need? Either any kind of liquid eyeliner I like to use, because I feel like it stays on for most of the day, most of the time. But if you have a sharp pencil or anything else that you like to use that you feel will work, just you go with what works for you. Number 1, Number one is the leader. If this is a day that you really need to take charge, you really need to lead your life or lead a team, or you want to be seen as an independent leader, number one is the number for you to use to cast this spell. You could just go really simple with one dot in the middle, or maybe you can just do one little dot on the side of your flick, but I will go for one in the middle. There we are. It's so simple. It's not crazy. You can go crazy though. You could do maybe a bigger dot. You could do art around it, make it into a little sun symbol if you like. Maybe if you're calling in the energy of one, I often also like to mix that up with a symbol, because one dot might not feel so powerful, so you might want to do a little moon or a little sun symbol, as I said, but you can also use the energies of the planet. So what energy does the sun bring in? Well, it works really well with the energy of one, because it's the energy of the sun. If you think of the Leo, it's that standing out. If you want to call in that energy of the leader of the number one, then the sun would be a great combo. But you could also maybe put the symbol of Mars, because Mars, again, it has that very one energy, that Aries energy, that's really going to take charge and not hold back. So I think, again, that really matches with the energy of one. The next number is number two. And how could you apply number two? Again, you can do this however you like, but maybe I would want to just add to what, because I'm working with what I've already done, is I might add another dot to my number one here. See, two little dots. You could also again think of what planetary symbols and energies also work with the number two. So let me go over what energies you'll be bringing in with number two. The energy of number one is that masculine energy, the leader, that magician card in a sense. But number two, you can think more of the nurturer, a more feminine energy, and also that intuitive energy. Two energy is very intuitive. You could think of the high priestess, but you could also think of the moon. So maybe you would just want to have your one dot and then a little moon symbol. You can literally go any way you like with this. I'm just throwing ideas at you here. Two also represents balance, so it's that Libra energy. So you could also use the symbol of Libra. Two is also about balance and those one-on-one partnerships. You could think of that energy of like the Two of Cups. You know the kind of energy that two has even by looking at the numbers in the tarot. I think two is a great number if you're trying to manifest in a soulmate or a lover. Two is the perfect number for manifesting love, because two very much represents sacred partnerships. If you're in a space where you're single and you're really trying to call in that soulmate, I would use two.
So I thought I would mention for those singles who are not quite looking for a soulmate but want a bit of love, want a fun, easygoing, not necessarily committed relationship, I would use the number 5 for that type of relationship, not the number 2, because 5 will bring in that fun and that adventure. And while you're using the number 5, just set that intention that you're trying to call in that type of person and that type of connection.
Number 3. When I think of number 3, I think of creation, I think of imagination, I think of children, I think of fun, and I think it's a very diverse energy. If you think of the threes in the tarot, it's very much about bringing in that creation. You have 2 and then 2 create 3 when it comes to creating a child. Threes are also naturally good at a lot of things. I find a lot of life path threes that I know, they can dip their toes into so many things and they're just naturally good at it. Also, if you're trying to harness that creative energy, 3 is the best number for this. Think of the Empress, she creates. Think of that kind of Jupiter energy as well. I feel like just for me, intuitively, I really think of Jupiter when I think of free, and that's because it's that expansive, that lucky energy, because the free energy, I said, they just seem to be good at most things. They seem to really get along with a lot of people, I've noticed as well. So if you want to harness that energy, use 3. And how could you add to this possibly to create a 3? You can do anything. You could use the symbol of Jupiter, just add that on, but I'm just going to add a little mark using black this time, just to switch it up. I might just put a little X, like a little X for kiss, you know, you put kisses on the end of your message. So I feel like 3s are very friendly and huggy and kissy as well, so it goes with the energy for me. Just a cute little X there. The next number that you could use is 4. 4, I've already mentioned, it's just great for job interviews. It just shows that you are that hard worker, you have stability, you have a good foundation to you. So how would I add 4 to this makeup? I'm just going to add another little dot. The next number is 5. I have a soft spot for 5. I'm a life path 5, and for me 5 represents change, freedom, enthusiasm, adventure, travel. 5s are the rebel. 5s don't fit in a box basically, and if you would want to use the number 5 in your Glamour Magick, you'd probably want to bring that energy in for making big change in your life, or calling in change in your life. Possibly if you're feeling trapped, if you feel bound, use the 5 energy to bring in that freedom, calling in that freedom, that adventure. If you'd like to bring in travel, or you are traveling and you want to bring some adventure into that trip, use the energy 5. 5s, just like 3, also get on with most other numbers, because 5 is in the middle of the numbers. So most people generally seem to get along well with 5s, and they seem to ignite sparks and change within others also. So if you would like to have that kind of influence on others, you could use the 5 energy. I'm just going to add another dot here. The next number is 6. As I mentioned before, I love to use 6 energy to bring in that kind, harmonious, nurturing energy. 6 can also represent duty, that caretaker. So if you're taking on that type of role for the day, I would use 6 energy to call that in. But also if you just want to bring in harmony to your day, calmness, kindness, I would definitely use 6. I use 6 in my Glamour Magick most of the time, so I'll just show you an example of how I would wear 6.
Also, 6 is great for self-love and long-term committed relationships. So if you think of the card, the Lovers, that is the number 6. And I particularly find it's a great card for self-love, because it's self-loving to want to manifest harmony into your life.
And for this look, I'm just going to finish off this here. The next number that I'm going to talk about is 7, and my witches, I can see you guys using this number a lot, because I always think of number 7 as the number of the mystic. I also kind of think of it as the number of the hermit, because 7s do love their alone time. So if you're sort of wanting a day where you can really have some alone time, have some peace, and go within and find that inner wisdom, I would use number 7. 7s also love to learn and to study their own interests. So if you sort of have a day where you want to study the tarot, study the occult, and you really want to set an intention to dive super deep into that, I would use the number 7. 7 is also a great number for intuition, just like the number 2, but 7 has that more sort of witchy, wizardy intuition, where you can really call in the power from within with this number. How will I add 7 to this look? I'm just going to add another dot. What a surprise. I love dots. And don't feel like you have to only use dots. You can use little lines. Actually, I'm going to use a little line just to switch it up. There we are. It's a little line. Number 8. 8 is sort of a step up from the number 4. It kind of makes me think of the high rise. If 4 is the house, then 8 is the high rise. 8 is the number of authority, power, money, big vision. It's also the number of the entrepreneur. So if you are sort of wanting to harness that type of energy, you're stepping into a new business, you want to create a new business, this is that entrepreneur energy. And again, it's very similar to the 22, which is the master builder, but the 8 energy is that more achievement based energy. The 8 wants to really get stuff done. The 22 is able to tap into those bigger visions, to do things that will affect a lot of people. But the 8 number is that entrepreneur number. It's that one who can get stuff done. So if you're having a day where you really want to get a lot of stuff done, you want to power through, I would use the number 8. And for this look, I am just going to add another little line because I like to be symmetrical. Symbol wise, for 8, it kind of makes me think Capricorn, you know? They've got that 8 energy, that hard worker, entrepreneur energy. So maybe you would want to use the Capricorn symbol. The next number you could use is 9, and this is officially the last of the single digits, and then you just have the master numbers left after this. 9 represents completion, and if you would like to dive deeper with the number 9, you can check out my other video about the numerology of 9 within the tarot. I'll put that in the description and in the iCard for you, so I highly recommend checking that out because 9 is a powerful number. It is completion. It's also the number of the humanitarian. So if you're trying to call in that humanitarian energy, if you are wanting to help others, if you are wanting to be an inspiration for others, if you are wanting to bring in confidence, because 9s are confident. 9 energy knows itself. 9 energy is complete. So it's a great number to use for confidence. It's also a very patient number, so if you're struggling with impatience, I highly recommend using the number 9 in this spell work because then you'll be able to harness patience a lot better. Another thing 9 energy would be good for is if you're calling in the end of something, if you're wanting to end maybe a bad habit, or you're wanting to end a stage in your life, or you're calling that in for yourself. It's that energy of completion, it's that energy of the end, and you're ready for new. So it's a great number for that. How will I add 9 here? I think I'm going to actually add a little moon symbol. Okay, so that's a little sideways moon. I am not the best artist, but hey, it's all about the intention that you set behind this Glamour Magick. So there are the single digits. We just have the master numbers left. So if you would like to use the number 11, this is the most spiritual number. It's the most connected with spirit. So if you're having a day where you plan on astral projecting, doing a lot of meditation, a lot of spell work, or anything that's related to your spiritual path, number 11 is a great number for that. It's also a highly intuitive number, just like the number 2. The 11 is that same energy of 2, but like in a master sense, a more elevated version. So you're sort of using that same energy, but again, this is a great number for any spiritual pursuits. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a couple more dots to make it up for 11. The next number is 22, and I've already touched on this number. 22 is the master builder. It's also the most powerful number that you can use, so I wouldn't use this number lightly. When you set an intention with this number, you really need to have that powerful intention behind it, and you need to put the action behind it. It is also a stable number because it is the master number of 4. so it does have a good foundation, but you need to use it on already built good foundation. So I would first work with the number 4 a lot first, really building a solid foundation for yourself before you sort of step into that 22 energy. But again, like I said, this is a great number for the self-employed or for wanting to start a new project. 22 will bring in limitless energy too. So if you're really wanting to call in a limitless energy, if you want to call in a lot of abundance, then use the 22 energy. Also, do keep in mind that 22 energy is all about the mass, the collective. So if you're wanting to do any work within the collective consciousness, 22 is the perfect number. You might also be thinking now, wow, like that's a lot of numbers to be using within your makeup, but you can make it work. Again, with the symbolism, with little lines and flicks and dots and little stars. There's just so many ways that you can work with this. So don't feel intimidated when you start getting to the high numbers. So now I need to add 11 more numbers to this. So let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna add 3 dots on each flick in this black. That will make 6 of the 11 I need. And they're so tiny, it's barely noticeable, but it's there. The intention is set, the spell is cast. However tiny your numbers are, it doesn't matter about the size. It's all about the intention that you're setting whilst using the numerology within your Glamour Magick. I'm also going to add a little black dot to my moon here, my sideways moon. So that's 7, another cluster of 3 just down here. Brings me up to 10, and I just need 1 more. Another little dot in the middle here. Cool. That's 22 now. It's looking pretty cool. Kind of happy with this. So the last number that you can use is 33. I like to think of 33 energy as that spiritual trailblazer. 33 is the master number of 6. And so again, you really do want to master that 6 energy before you're sort of dipping your toe into 33 energy. And also you kind of want to be working a little bit with the 11 energy and the 22 energy, because I feel like the 33 master number is a good combination of the 11 and the 22, and obviously the baseline of the 6, because it's a very nurturing number still, because it has that baseline of the 6 and it's very harmonious. But like I said, it's that spiritual trailblazer. So you've kind of mastered that 11 energy, and then you've mastered that 22, the most powerful energy, and you're sort of bringing those together. This is a great number as the master teacher. So if you're sort of in a position where you're wanting to teach others your own knowledge that you've been able to harness, I highly recommend using the number 33. How can we add 33 to this? I need to add another 11 to this, and again you're probably thinking, oh my god, that's so many numbers, but like I said, you're not going to use the number 33 too often. It's a very powerful number. You should really work with all the other numbers before you really step into this area. And the same with all the master numbers, at least have their base numbers mastered to a certain point. That's 2 for 11, 4 for 22 and 6 for 33. Add another little cross on this side as I have here. I'm going to stray a bit to the side here, and I'm going to do some numbers, dots around here on my temple. That I added another 6 there, so far that's 7. I'm also going to add, it seems unusual, but I do this sometimes, I like to add some numbers to my nose. So I'm going to just add 3 little dots to my nose here. You don't even really notice them, you see? but they're there, the intention is there, and you don't have to put this stuff so it's so noticeable, or you can make it really noticeable. You go with what feels good for you. So I just need one more marking to make this 11 and make up 33 in total. And I think I'm just gonna go for one little line here. And again, that's not really noticeable. My lip hangs over a bit, so you can't really notice it's there, but it is. That's it, that's a 33. Glamour Magick completion. I've gone through all the numbers with you. Do your Glamour Magick using numerology however you want, but I just really hope that this video inspired you and maybe you learned something new, because I really struggled to see anyone else talking about this. This is probably one of the main spells that I use, and I find the numerology energy really great for setting intention and holding that intention and holding that spell for you. So let me know your thoughts on this video. Have you tried Glamour Magick in using numerology? Would you like to try this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's get a conversation started. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye.